There we go.
There you go. Let me see this thing. I'll put that up.
Send people pictures of your child's obituary.
Mhm.
Right.
Let them see why you won't give up.
That's it.
That's also. They got them in the mail. They got them dropped off at their office.
There you go.
Because y'all gonna remember who Amir Locke
Make
is.
them uncomfortable. Make them totally uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. Like I said, keep doing whatever you need to do when something comes up in your city. And that's the thing. One problem is everybody's problem.
That's right.
And in order for them to stop doing what they're doing, you know, they're pushing this movement that is consisting of really strong people with voices. And we're not gonna tire. We're not gonna let in, we're gonna let up, we're not gonna shut up. And that's what I told them from day one. I'm not shutting up at all. Even if it's just you. One person told me, sometimes if you even do it on your own, you have the biggest voice. I could just stand outside by myself and shout justice for Amir Locke, and it's gonna rain because I'm his mother.
Right.
So, and like I said, we are boots on the ground. Boots on the ground means, you know what, like I told them, that day when they said, we are not going to charge him, I said, y'all did y'all job, now I'm about to do mine. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
There you go.
Hey, good evening, y'all. All power to the people. I love that clip we just showed.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Roxane Johnson. My son's name is Jamal Byrd. He was killed by DC Metropolitan Police October the 1st, 2019. I'm here with my wonderful, powerful co-host, LaToya. What's up, LaToya?
What's up, Roxane? It's so good to see you all. I was like, oh, it's like it's been forever, y'all. My name is LaToya Benton. I am the mother of the beautiful Xavier Hill. Xavier was killed by 2 Virginia State Troopers on January the 9th, 2021. We are honored and joined here tonight. Mona, you want to go ahead and get an intro of yourself, please? I have my dates wrong, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Mona, go ahead and intro yourself, please. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you, all ladies. I'm humbled to be here on the same platform, and my deepest condolences for the fact that, you know, in spite of how we connect, it's what we do after the fact. So this is powerful. My son is Ronald Greene. He was killed May 10th, 2019 by, and what we have is 6 Louisiana State Troopers. We were told initially that after a high-speed chase, his car hit a tree and he died on impact. And what we saw almost immediately, within hours, the cover-up started. And here we are now, almost into 4.5 years. We had 5 indictments in December of last year, 2022. And with, what can I say? The backdoor dealings, we now have possibly 2. We might have 1. We might not even have that. The judge, they played this back and forth volley within the courts of the bill of particulars to where a motion to quash was granted by Judge.
Well, Ms. Mona, real fast, before you go into that, just because I want you to, you might be giving a little bit too much. Kind of give them a little more in detail about what happened to your son, because I really want to drive on the point, one, that he tells you was a car crash. I want people to understand that was what happened to him at all. And also, you know, not without going into like too much detail, more so like what happened to him and how they lied and try to cover this up. And either way, the charges that are like, I feel like now the charges that they gave to them are not what's really sticking for the crime.
I didn't hear that last part. Excuse me.
The charges that were given to the officers are not what the crime is. You know what I'm saying? It should have been way higher than that.
Yes. When those indictments came down, I'm still numb. I'm still numb because they weren't charged with murder. it got weaker and weaker. It seems like every year, every month after, as the cover up ensued, and it kept going. It seems like the more we tried to elevate what happened, the harder Louisiana and the politicians.
Kind of water it down.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
That is the fuel that keeps me going, because it pisses you off to the point where you're energized and you just stay more focused.
Mhm.
Mhm.
From the video, or was there video that you saw when from what they fabricated versus what the truth was? What
Yeah.
did you see, or can you talk about what actually happened versus them saying that he died on impact from a car accident? What really happened?
Yeah, it was into a year and a half when we saw the release of the video came out, and I didn't realize it at the time that they showed us snippets, because mind you, I was in a trance just being there, and when we actually did see it, we saw Ronnie, his hands was on the steering wheel. They tased him while he was still sitting in the car. And I could see right then and there. I had to see my son take his last breaths. I had to see, because I was in total disbelief. What was so ugly was that I was surrounded by the governor, the district attorney, some of the Louisiana Black Caucus, some of the state troopers, lawyers from both sides. And me and my daughter are sitting in the middle of this room with this huge screen that's playing this video of Ronnie. And they are saying, no, you don't want to see that. Let's fast forward. Let's reverse this.
Oh my gosh.
And, yeah, so they let us see what they wanted us to see. So we didn't get to see it all, not then and there at that time. But the cover up kept playing. As I look back, you can see where they tried to control the narrative, and then they turn around and lied about what we actually did see that particular day. And
So
these are the politicians. That's all part of this, the politicians.
Yeah.
You all, we're going to have the discussion tonight, but please, it's important to read these stories. When I was reading the article about your son, a couple of them, just the fact that, people, they have this belief of that police don't lie and stuff, but it's like, no, they lie. They lie.
They put the L in lie. Are you kidding me? But the thing is, another way that we're culturally conditioned, right? People will believe the police, the law enforcement officials, because of their position, right? So when it comes to indicting them and to getting it to a place where they're actually found guilty, it becomes that much more difficult, because the mindset that most people have that, well, they're law enforcement, they're going to tell the truth, they're not going to do these things. But the opposite is true. They are actually perpetrating lie after lie and killing our loved ones without any accountability.
Oh, heck yeah. They have no problem. And the thing is, the line of corruption, the network, that you got the judges, you got the secretaries, you got the funeral home, you got the coroner, you have the ambulance, everyone is connected. And the horrible part is, but it's also good for the fact that they're so comfortable in what they do, because this qualified immunity gets them off the hook. They ain't got no problem spinning that narrative, even if the narratives don't even match, like it did in Ronnie's case. Even the doctor at the medical center, he was saying this doesn't add up, because the police reports that was given to him, they didn't match. From one cop said to what another cop wrote, none of that stuff matched, and he saw it right away. Not to mention when he saw Ronnie had the taser prongs in his body. And he said none of it made any sense. And he said that to my grandson, who was there at the time. He said that to him, and the ball just, everything started spinning to where this cup.
This one I want to also talk about. I was reading the article as well too. That when one of the officers found out he was going to get charged or get fired for
That's Chris Hollingsworth. Yeah.
Yeah, he committed. Well, they want to say it was a one crack. Well, he committed suicide. Pretty long. You know what I'm saying? Long story short. So, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, I'm still looking for his death certificate. I'm still looking for his accident report. I found that it's under seal. I went to get it because I didn't believe it. You know, I just didn't believe it. It's like, why would he kill himself? You know, he's been doing this stuff. He's been getting away. Why would he kill himself? I just don't believe it to this very minute, unless I see something. And within 3 days, I mean, they gave him a funeral with all the grandeur, you know, of a state, huge, you know. I mean, you did you guys see it? Were you guys able to see it?
I didn't see it, no.
Yeah, the motorcade, everything. I mean, this is a guy, they already knew he was on that tape saying he beat the ever loving fuck out of Ronnie.
Yeah.
But yet still they buried him with all the accolades, and his widow gets $5,000 a month of whatever that pension is, for life.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, and they sit back like he's some big hero. You know, this is what the state did. This is what Governor John Bel Edwards signed off on.
So tell us a little bit about how they came about being indicted. You said that there are 5 officers originally indicted. How did that come about?
Well, you know, that was in what ended up happening. It was District Attorney John Benton. We had, well, they had a secret grand jury, but we still don't know. And we were told that we won't ever see the transcript of what exactly Benton presented to this secret grand jury for the fact that
I think it's crazy too. That's part of the problem too, as well, Ms. Wanda.
I'm sorry?
That's part of the problem as well.
Yeah. We were told it's under seal. We'll never see it. And I said, you know what? I said, at some point, I'm pretty sure we're going to get our hands on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not giving up. I haven't what can I say? Went through all my resources, but they say you just never will. But the fact that we were able to see those videos, there's a lot of things going on in the background. There's a lot of people willing to talk, even though they don't want to be seen. They're still willing to talk.
So
these whistleblowers are many.
Yeah. So what were the officers indicted for? What was their indictment for?
Oh, I don't have that list in front of me, but you have Poor York had 11 of them, and he's one of the last ones that behind this motion, because it wasn't, the presentation wasn't done the way, and I hate that I get my thought process. It wasn't presented in the way that it's supposed to have been, because there were so many officers charged. These bill of particulars wasn't answered by DA Benton and Hugo Holland. Mind you, Hugo Holland was appointed in the beginning of this year by John Benton. Hugo Holland is white. He's clearly a KK. He's a white supremacist for his behavior. He has no problem showing it. And you got Black DA John Benton, who's been in office. He has many years under his belt. But all I can say is they sabotaged my son's case. They sabotaged like hell. I asked, why in the world did DA Benton get this special prosecutor on Ronald Greene's case when he goes above and beyond to get the police off the hook? He does not find any of his good old boys in the wrong. It's just not what he does. So how did this DA bring Hugo Holland into this? And that's when I was furious. And that's when all I can say is what happened, those 5 indictments, and the fact that I want to see what John Benton said, how he presented Ronnie's case, to where we got these obstruction of justice. Everything is being kicked out by the judge. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
it's,
looking at it online right now, and it's showing on here where some of the charges are sticking, but the judge is throwing some certain things out. It looks like it says so far negligent homicide charge will still stand, but certain things are still thrown out. It's like, how? After watching the video and seeing all that, how do you throw those out? But yeah, even the charge already in itself doesn't stick for the crime. If I was to do that, I'm going under the jail.
yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know, when we were in the when we were there in the hearing, it was this bill of particulars. It because they didn't write it out word for word what this cop did and what frame in that video. Even though you see it in the video, they still want to know what time stamp in that video.
That's crazy.
And the DA didn't do that. Because the DA didn't do that, they filed a motion to quash because they weren't handling this case the way it's supposed. It's supposed to be common law practice, but the district attorney did not do it. And because he didn't do it, the judge is just throwing all these.
They throw it out.
out.
Yeah.
And it's just given. It's given to them to behave the way they are, and it's like, okay, so you guys gonna do this, okay? So I mean, and the thing is, this behavior is in the courtroom. They're so egregious. They're so proud of what they do and how they do it. This I keep going back to qualified immunity. Like, you know, I don't care. They're laughing. They're even joking in the courtroom about, you know, we drink the same brandy. You know, oh yeah, I'll see you on the golf course. This is what's going on in the courtroom.
Yep.
In the midst of my son's murder. Yeah.
People are. I went to a court case in Maryland this past week, and I was just looking at those officers and how they talk to each other and just kind of like joking and laughing. I'm like, do you realize that someone died? That you killed somebody? But they know off top they're gonna still get off at the end of the day because of qualified immunity.
Yep.
Mhm. And it's not that they don't know, is that they don't care.
They
They don't care. That's right.
Let's put it where the ghosts can get it, right? They do not care, because if they cared, we wouldn't even be in the courtroom in the first place. They would have
That's
treated
right.
our loved ones like human beings,
That's right.
and given them the opportunity to defend themselves in a court of law. But because they're animals, they don't have regard for human life at all, right? So in your case, down in a great state of Louisiana, they're busily taking away these charges that were part of the indictment. So now you still have some indictments finished. When are you supposed to start the court case? When are these people going before a judge?
October 12th.
October the 12th. Okay.
October 12th is the next court date for the remaining officers. Everything gets pushed back, everything gets fluffed up here and there to where, you know, you don't actually see time of day because they keep going back and forth with everything. I mean, you go there expecting something and always come back empty-handed or more disappointed than when you first arrived.
Yeah.
The egregiousness is horrible. And it's so wicked how comfortable they are. And it has to stop. It has to stop. And in the midst of, and what's so bad is we're connecting with so many families to get their information to the Department of Justice in these special hearings, if you will, town hall meetings that's supposed to be happening. You know, it happened in New Orleans, Shreveport, supposed to be in Lafayette. I really don't know at this point. I think they had one not too long ago in Shreveport, but they want families to come forward and tell their stories of police brutalities, anything that happened at any time in the past or now present. And they want to know of it while they're there. This Department of Justice is doing this pattern and practice investigation. In the midst of all this, the killing still happens.
Yeah, it does.
You still have stuff going all over the parishes in the midst of a pattern and practice investigation. this is how comfortable they are. And as far as I'm concerned, it's all condoned.
I think part of that goes back to so we're talking today about today is actually National Voters Registration Day. And I asked Roxane and Mel a question a couple of days ago. I was just asking about, I think it kind of all goes back to who we vote for, who we put in the office, right? Because if we keep putting the same people in the office who are not making changes, who are not in the qualified immunity, the cycle gonna keep going over and over and over and over and over and over again. DOJ can come in 1,000 times and have 1,000 investigations. If the local laws are still the same, we'll get the same results. That's what keeps happening. It's a system thing.
Because like this person you're talking about, Benton, district attorney, of course he's got all of these officers, they're buddy, because when he wants to bring somebody as a prosecutor, he wants to bring somebody up for charges, he gets his buddies on the police force,
Right.
He gets behind them and they have each other's back. They have each other's back. And so when you see somebody like District Attorney Benton and others who continually practice the same kind of behavior, it's time for their assets to be voted out.
Get them out of there.
It's time to go.
Get them out of there.
Who's more in line with what we need to see, accountability and justice, right? Period after that. Yeah. So in addition to being about voting, which we are, we're about action on this podcast. So Ms. Hardin, tell us how we can help in the case for your son to get accountability and justice for your son.
What my son needs is exposure. Ever since the very beginning, when the videos first came out, it's like, oh wow, we got them, because there it was, and at that very first moment, we only had a snippet. We didn't have everything, and not to mention what happened with the special committee, where you saw where these officers, they call it where they sanitize, they erase their phones. And nothing's happened. There was no penalty for what these are cops.
No consequences.
Yeah, nothing. They don't answer for no wrongdoing. And back to your question, this is when I get to talking, I ramble on. But it's like I could talk till this time next year and not even cover half the stuff that continues and that we find and other families find. But for Ronnie, the exposure, because it's like it goes into the media and then it drops down.
Right.
It goes into the media, and then we find out that certain medias are all controlled by the governor, by the state. Yeah. And when we saw that, it's like, okay, our antennas go up, and it's like, okay. And it makes us even more wiser and more focused. And it's okay, because it's a good thing to see where your enemies are coming from, the people you can't trust, the people it's a good thing. So I thank the Lord above for everything I see, the good, bad, and it just helps me to stay focused. But Ronnie needs exposure. We need, it's just like our counsel said, the biggest thing that can help us is getting Ronnie's case into the media. The video's already out there, and that's what me and my daughters, we're always trying to elevate the names of all the officers in spite of the fact that they've been, let go, and this has been promoted. Yeah, all top brass is been, retired, been into bigger and better. I mean, you got Kevin Reeves. He's a superintendent that was over State Troop F. His son is Caleb Reeves. Caleb Reeves, through one of his bad behavior days, killed 2 Black girls. And he was given, I think it was 4 months of time off or whatever it is. And now he's been promoted to a very lucrative position. And this is how they repay their bad road cops.
I think people got to realize that, like you said again, it keeps going on and on. The cops who they'll leave the position and then go somewhere else, and it's not just in Louisiana. It's like it's everywhere. You'll meet different families, right, and you hear the same story over and over and over and over again, just in different states, right?
I talked to families out in California, all in every corner. There's so many families, and the story is so identical.
It's so identical, yeah.
Yeah. The coroner, the cover up, the organs missing, everything is so identical. The network of criminal activity is so heavy. It's a genocide. You got to call it what it is, you know. And the fact that we're still talking, here it is 2023, and the conversation in this is so damn strong. And it's like, where are the politicians up here? Where are our good old boys at? Where are the people that's in our corner? You know, it's like, how many more lives? And we shouldn't have to say until it happens to you, then you'll.
It should matter. Yep.
Yeah, you'll see us and not look through us.
We gotta be proactive and stop being retroactive.
Yes.
Right. And the one thing that we have come to understand, Ms. Harding, is we are the we've been waiting for. And
Yes.
They try to tamp it down, delay the jury, delay the trial, all these things to try to win favor in the public, because the first place is the public setting is where the cases are tried. And so if the media has died down and we're not talking about this as much, by the time we get to trial, they would try to tamp it down and make it seem like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But what they don't count on and what they don't realize, we know them, but they don't know. And what you don't know is the power of some
people.
You don't know about the power of some mamas. We are not going to shut up. We're not going to lay down. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep talking. And you may think that you get some of us to back off, but there'll be 10 more in this place. 10.
There you go.
100.
There you go.
Right?
100 more. And the numbers are, that's right. That's right.
Do what you got to do, and we're going to do what we know we can do. Can you show that flyer again, Melissa, so that we can, highlight what's going on Wednesday, September the 27th, on 12:30 down in Baton Rouge. Okay, our viewers down there in that neck of the woods, come out and support. There's going to be a rally.
If we could have boots on ground, yes, you got there in that flyer, you have Tamika Mallory. You're going to have the family of Tyre Nichols there. We're bringing out a few members of, as far as who exactly, I'm not sure, the Louisiana Black Caucus. We're going to be seen. Let me put it that way. There'll be boots on ground, and that's what we want. We want support. We want support. We want people to rally to come forward, because it's not for Ronnie, it's for all of us. Everything we do is for all of us.
Right.
And because it's not stopping. It's not stopping.
Yeah.
And then, Mona, I heard you say as well, you have court on October the 12th. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have information already for that?
No.
It's okay. When you get it, just make. I'll ask you about it again. We'll share it, because I'm pretty sure you want me to come to support it with court as well, if possible, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually it's at 10 a.m., but I'll give you a definite answer on that real soon.
Perfect.
Okay.
But yes, but please, whatever, if anything, it's just like they say, we need the public to look at this, because what's really mind-boggling to me is there's a lot of people that's in the general area, the Deep South. They didn't know of Ronnie, but now they do know of Ronnie. And then it's networked out to where those in California, Ronnie, the death of Ronald Greene is being more because we share.
That's right.
That network, that internet, that I'm still trying to learn myself. My daughter is really good at what she does, and but I'm getting there. But like they say, public opinion and the voices, the outcry of what people see outside of Louisiana, that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get folks outside of Louisiana to see what the hell's going on in the Deep South, in Mississippi, Alabama. I mean, it's all of our families are connected. We have so many families that's connected.
I think people forget oftentimes, just because we're out of the so-called quote unquote civil rights movement, that doesn't mean the mindset has changed. people in the deep South, they still the same exact way. Certain states, certain laws have kind of like shifted, not really have changed because we're still getting killed out here. But depending on what states you go to, it is like just horrific when it comes to like police brutality. And then people in the deep South, we call it, like Roxane says, culture conditioning. They turn a blind side to it because they say, well, it ain't happened to me yet, but y'all know what's going on to your neighbor next door, and we got to still fight for each other.
Yes, yes. And I like that culture conditioning. Yeah.
And if not for our children, our grandchildren, our unborn children, right? We should be just like our ancestors were fighting for when people were being lynched on a tree every day or every other day. They had to stand up and say no more. Well, this is our 2023 style of this is a form of lynching where you see Black and brown bodies are the ones that are being victimized by the very people who are sworn to protect them. That is an epidemic, and it needs. And until we get the right traction, the right results, we're going to keep raising the flag and putting it out here so that everybody can know this is unacceptable.
Yes.
Right. So we're expecting our listeners, our supporters down there in Louisiana, Mississippi, all down in Texas, come on over to Baton Rouge and support this family on September the 27th and October the 12th. We'll put some information on our Facebook page about October the 12th. Okay. Is there anything else we get to know you as we close this episode?
What I want to say is, as we're reaching out to the masses out there, for those families there, when you come forward with your loved one's picture. You're gonna have a chance to speak, even though you might not be speaking. Your presence, if you have a photo of your lost loved one, take that opportunity, because what we do for everyone. This is a collective effort to bring people out of their comfort zone, and rest assured, we're not going away. We need everyone to stand, because we're doing this for everyone. Come, bring your pictures. I want to know of because there's so many more stories that need to be told. I met a woman, oh my gosh, it's been, I think it was 27 years. No accountability, and that's an awful way to live. And look how it just goes on and goes on. Yeah. And it's generation to generation of fear.
Yeah, fear.
We have to stop it. We have to
stop being scared. People got to stop being scared.
So we got some actions for our listeners tonight. Support this family, the family of Ronald Greene, down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, September the 27th, October the 12th are the 2 days. We'll give you more information. Look to our on our Facebook page. Register and vote.
Register and vote. Exactly. Register and vote.
Right.
Exactly.
Because your life depends on it. If you don't have people in places of power who are putting forth your agenda, they're putting forth somebody else's agenda.
That's right.
Period. And don't say your vote don't count, because we can start talking about how people have won elections or lost elections by less than 100 votes, 400 votes. If 20 had to come and vote, it would change the whole thing, right? So your vote, don't believe, that's another way we've been conditioned.
That's it.
Another way. If your vote didn't matter, why do people fight so hard to make sure you can't get the vote? Closing up election stations and moving voting polls and saying, oh, you can't mail in your vote, and all these different things they do to try to limit or take away, because your vote equals power. Vote equals power. And so we got to get out of that mindset that our vote doesn't matter, that we don't have anything to vote for. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. As if our life depended on it, because it does.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Yeah.
So just one more time, y'all, today is National Voters Registration Day. You can do it from your computer at the house. You don't have to go anywhere. And it's also elections come up as well. So as Roxane just said, it's vote, register and also vote. Don't just register, you gotta also exercise your use to vote as well too. Utilize your voice, utilize the tools you have to be heard.
We have the power, y'all. We have the power to create the system we want. And that's what
And
we're doing.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, go ahead.
I almost forgot to mention Carl Cavalier. He was a whistleblower in the Ronald Greene case. And I said the next time I speak of Ronnie, I have to speak of Carl. He's become family to us. And you know, he gave his livelihood. He was a state trooper, and they fired him in the midst of him coming forward. And they kept all the killer cops, and they got rid of the cop that has credibility.
That's crazy.
You know, that took his livelihood, his money, his pension, and he's fighting hard to get that back. And so for those who read of Ronnie, read of Carl Cavalier also. He is an awesome individual. He's a wonderful, wonderful young man. And Louisiana State Troopers would have been done one of the most right things ever if they would have kept him. And if they would have kept there's other whistleblowers who came forward, and they left on their own because they refused to take part in state troopers. Because they were told to lie. They were told to get rid of the evidence, you know. And,
part of their culture again, right?
Yeah. And you know, they refuse to be part of that. So when I say there's people that are eager for change on both sides, it's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carl Cavalier, you know, you look him up. He's an awesome young man.
We need some more people like him.
Yes. And we have them. You know, not all police are bad, but Louisiana, you know, they need a total revamp. You know, you got to tear it down from the top down and back up.
I heard a lady say on a podcast one time, she was like, why is it okay for us to keep putting our money, putting our tax dollars into so-called servicemen who are not performing jobs the correct way? Why are we not putting our money into somebody else who can perform the job the correct way now, you know? Because that's what it's all about. We want to still be protected in the format, but while we keep wasting our money somewhere else, we get the same results each and every time. How much money we gotta waste?
That's right.
Good words. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. That's right. Well, we thank you for joining us this evening, Ms. Hardin. We really appreciate you taking some time out to highlight.
Yes, I want to thank you so much.
No, I thank you for this platform. I'm embracing you guys. It's just so awesome to be in this space with you. I thank you. I look forward to many more. I look forward to more conversations as we go forward. Believe me, when I tell you there's a lot of stuff going on, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I say it with a big grin because I'm, what can I say? I'm gonna keep it nice. But focus. We're focused. We are so focused.
I'm not gonna be distracted.
Yes. And that's the thing, you know, the mighty is in powers. The mighty is in us. The mighty is in our own families.
Right.
And the more, you know, it's so painful. And I've heard before many families say, you know, let your pain be your purpose. And for me, it's totally my anger, everything. It helps me focus. And the more I focus, the more I'm able to see the results, and being productive on the daily level is it's major for me, you know, because you can get lost in this. It's so crippling, you know. It's totally devastated my family, and it takes everything we have just to move forward, to stay productive. It takes everything, but we're managing. We're doing a hell of a good job, as are the families around us. You know, everyone that's impacted, you know, it's like you're strapping up your boots and you're ready to get out there and kick some ass.
Right.
So,
And we're gonna do it in the form of changing the system.
That's right.
yes. That's right. What I meant.
Yes. Yeah, we know what you talk about. And in the process, you're gonna kick some ass too.
You know, it's just like you say, they just don't know us.
They
They
don't know.
haven't seen what we're
They gonna find
totally capable.
That's
They gonna
right.
find out. They gonna find out. It's
They
okay.
gonna find out.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies.
The power that propels
Yeah.
us is something
Yeah,
that we had no idea. It's okay. It's okay. But thank you again.
made my night.
This has been.
Thank you. Made my night. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This has been Life After the Impact, fighting for justice. We'll talk to you next time. Peace and blessings. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can do it too. We have a visual of what we think an elected official is supposed to look like, where they're supposed to come from, the educational background that they're supposed to have. And I am here to tell you that you can do it too. And we absolutely need you. If you want to do the work, you got a heart for the people, and you're willing to get in there and be that voice, be bold. And like Jaleesa said, stand your 10 toes down. Because sometimes you might have to stand by yourself and still be courageous and bold enough to do that, knowing that God will sustain you and keep you in that decision. You can do it too. I didn't think, and honestly, I didn't ask to be in this space, to be doing this thing, but it's necessary. Remember why you chose to serve the people, but at the end of the day, if I can do it, you can do it too. And we need you. We need you.